Here we are again in my little kitchen in Lecce in the south of Italy. My name is Francesco and today I'm going to prepare a savoury tart with potato, green bell pepper, pancetta and onion, rosemary and nutmeg and some lovely provolone cheese. So it's going to be very simple, very quick and easy to make. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, do subscribe to the channel, come back and follow me for more. Let's cook. For today's recipe you are going to need puff pastry, green bell pepper, potatoes, pancetta, onion, rosemary, provolone cheese and nutmeg. Let's begin by removing the seeds from the bell pepper and also the white membrane on the inside. Then we're going to cut it into thin slices. Remember, if you put your pepper with the skin side facing down, it's a lot easier to cut. Next, we're going to peel and slice a medium-sized onion in similar sized slices, like so. With the onion chopped, we can now cut about a 3-inch long piece of pancetta also into thin slices. Then, we're going to take a small sprig of rosemary and finely chop that too. The last thing we need to prepare and the first thing we're going to start cooking are the potatoes. We're going to peel 2 good-sized potatoes, cut them into quarters and then cut those quarters into thin slices, like so. Start the potatoes boiling in well salted water, and in the meantime we're going to start frying the pancetta in order to cook the peppers and onion. As soon as the frying pan comes up to temperature and the pancetta's fat begins to render, we can add the peppers and onion and start cooking them together. Add a good pinch of salt, not only to season, but also to help the onion and the peppers to give off their juices and to cook more quickly. You'll find that there's no need to add any oil or fat, as when the onion and peppers give off their own juices, there'll be plenty of moisture in the pan for everything to cook and sweat down nicely all by itself. They're only going to need to stir fry for 4 or 5 minutes until they begin to soften. In the meantime, when the potatoes become a little transparent, we can drain them and then add them to the peppers and onion and continue cooking them together. At this point we're going to add the rosemary, we're going to grate them with nutmeg and add plenty of freshly ground black pepper so that everything has lots of flavour. Keep stirring them through and cooking them together for a further 3 or 4 minutes. Now we're ready to prepare our puff pastry, which I'm going to cook in a frying pan, and I'll show you why in just a second. Lay the pastry out and then you can lay the potatoes with the peppers and onion and pancetta straight in, hot from the frying pan. Spread them out nice and evenly over the base of the pastry, like so. Now we're going to add our provolone cheese, which we're going to grate straight on top. This is a nice mature one, but you can use a milder one if you so prefer. Add a little more freshly grated nutmeg, more freshly ground black pepper, and then we have all of our wonderful flavors ready to be baked. And all we have to do before we do that is to fold over the outer edges of the pastry. There's no need to fuss too much about this part. It's going to look wonderful when it's baked one way or the other. What I like to do to avoid having a soggy bottom to the pastry is to put the frying pan back over the heat on the stove and give it a head start of 2 or 3 minutes until it slides away from the pan all by itself. That way you know you've got a crispy base before you start baking. Then into the oven it goes at 200 degrees centigrade for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. And there it is, ready to be served piping hot. But this also tastes wonderful cold, so you have the best of both worlds. All you need to do now is to cut yourself a nice slice and to enjoy. Buon appetito!